Hi everybody, welcome back to the Snake Pit. I'm Snake and I'm here to cover another individual hero from my war defense study that I did. Today, as you can guess, it's Skadi. And this hero was requested by Abeja, and I hope I got that name right this time. Abeja had guessed correctly on one of the quizzes I put out on another video. So this is the only kind of compensation that I can do, is to bump up heroes that people want to see. Anyways, Skadi, aka Manhands. That nickname was dubbed by someone called CBR that we had in our alliance at one point, and you can't unhear that, and you'll never unsee it either. I mean, look at those mitts. Yeah, it's Manhands. Anyways, Skadi is a season 3 hero of the monk class and average speed. I'm going to go through this quickly. Skadi deals 220% damage to all heroes, but the great thing about Skadi compared to other hit-all type heroes is that for every hero that dies, the damage goes up 50%. So in essence, once there's 4 heroes that are dead, it's not 220 anymore. It's up to 420 damage. It basically turns Skadi into a sniper when there's less heroes on there, which is, I find, a fantastic way that the developers had made Skadi. Skadi also has stacks, so up to 10, where enemies can take frost damage and also get mana generation ailment. It doesn't seem like much for each stack, but each stack goes up for every enemy killed or any minion killed. So it can go up quickly if facing a bunch of minions. And when it does get up to stack of 10, here's what happens. 340 frost damage per enemy per turn, and minus 60% mana generation. That's incredible. It's absolutely crippling. And this is why Skadi is an excellent hero to have. So, like I said, we're going to speed this up. There's a few more things on the card. Feel free to check it out. There's a bunch of them online. So let's jump in right now, and we're going to go to Arrow Barrage. So here's the stats for Skadi. It's impressive already when you look at the visual depiction of what the stats are. Arrow Barrage, 31.8% survivability rate. And Skadi has been used enough to be rated for each position, at tank, flank, and wing in this case. We can see wing, that one sticks out quite far. Does extremely well on the wing. Flank is also in the green, and tank, if you notice, at 33.4% is almost over that 2%. It is higher than the average, but it's still in that average category for yellow. But yeah, with Arrow Barrage, I mentioned it in the Arrow Barrage video, that heroes that can attack multiple targets will often do very well, because the arrows are going to do the work. And in this case, Skadi comes in and can clean up. So a team with Skadi on the wing does extremely well. And you see that ranking, 11 out of 60. So that's pretty high. There's not a lot of better heroes that you can put on the wing in Arrow Barrage. Let's move on now to attack boost. So attack boost, we see again that teams with Skadi at each position are pretty well set. We're in the green for tank, flank, and wing. Well, I say green for flank. It's actually yellow. It's, again, almost at that 2%, but it's above average and ranks fairly high for that average score as well. We see that for the ranking, 7 out of 28 heroes that have been used at least 10 times at tank, 19 out of 70 for flank, and 10 out of 63 for wing. Teams will benefit from having Skadi in any one of these positions for attack boost. All right, we move on to Undead Horde, and I already spoke about that killing minions will increase those stacks. Same thing with enemies. Skadi is an impressive hero in Undead Horde. Look at those numbers, especially when the average survivability rate for this war type is 27.2, and it's well into the 30s at tank, flank, and wing for teams that have Skadi in those positions. When you look at the used areas, so not used a whole lot at tank, but still made the cutoff at 12. My cutoff is 10 if you haven't seen other videos where I've explained that. And then heavily used at flank and at wing. And look at the ranking. For heroes that are used at least 10 times on a team, teams with Skadi will come in 1 out of 29, 1 out of 76, and 2 out of 67. There is no better hero to have in Undead Horde than good old Man-Hands. Skadi is to Undead Horde what Alfreich is to Rush. If that can put anything in perspective. There's really not much else to say. I won't dwell on this one anymore. But if you have Skadi, you need to put her in for this war type. And clearly in whichever position. Okay, Equalizer. We could see that Skadi does well at the flank, really well, and is also above average for the wing. We've got a large enough sample size, double my cutoff of 10 for flank, and then wing it's 3.5 times that. So, at flank is in the top third, and it's almost 4% higher survivability rate than the average for the war type. And at wing, it's still above average. It looks yellow. Don't let that be doom and gloom. Still better than the average hero that you can stick in there on the wing. At tank, I've graded out. Teams with Skadi at tank have not been ranked because it's only been used 6 times. 28.3 is what has shown up so far, which was still above average. But I think more data is needed. I don't know if that would go up. I suspect personally it might go up, but I won't normally go with my gut on these kind of things. So take that one with a grain of salt. It could be much higher. It could be lower. Now to the rush war. Tank again, we not assessed very well. I mean, Skadi is a average mana speed hero, so not commonly used at tank in this war type. And for the 3 times that Skadi was used, those teams did not do that well. 27.3. I mean, that could come up, but maybe that's a sign that Skadi is not a good candidate for a tank in rush. But when we look at flank and wing, so flank is at 38.1% and wing is at 40.3%. What that translates to for ranking is Skadi is 17 out of 72 on the flank, and on the wing it's 9 out of 60. There's only 8 heroes that are better to stick on the wing to get good results out of your team in this war type. And that is pretty impressive, considering that Skadi is an average mana speed. All right, let's go now to the overall. This is a combination of all war types, so let's see how Skadi does across the board. Look at that triangle, right? The orange triangle obviously is the overall survivability rate, and the blue is Skadi. And look how wide that comes down at the flank and wing. I wish we had more data at tank. I mean, there's enough there, but 44 times used is not really comparable to the 147 times at flank and 236 at wing. Nonetheless, every one of these is in the green and well above what the average is. Look at the ranking for heroes that have been used 10 times. 14 out of 77 at the tank. For flank, 9 out of 136 and 12 out of 131. So teams with Skadi at tank will do better than 80% of teams who use other heroes. And when Skadi is used at flank or wing, that team beats out over 90% of other teams that aren't using Skadi in those positions. All right, that is it now for Skadi. I told you I'd speed this one up a little bit. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find these stats interesting and useful. I know that I do. And stand by, because I'll be coming out with the next video very soon. And as promised, I'll be pumping them out as quickly as possible. If you like this, please hit that like button. Leave a comment, leave questions. I will always respond, and I always appreciate any kind of feedback that you can give me. So until next time, I'm Snake, and I'm here to help you defend yourself.